I'm Doug, and on behalf of everyone at Worship Musician Magazine, it's my pleasure to welcome you to this video and to introduce the brand new, came out today, Martin 00028 Brooke Ligertwood signature guitar. In a moment, you're going to hear Brooke tell the story about how this guitar got created, as well as her journey to her first Martin guitar. But before we do that, I want to go through a little bit of housekeeping. First of all, this video has been broken down into chapters so you can get to the content you're most interested in. After I'm done telling you about a couple of key features, you're going to hear from Brooke. And after that, I'm going to go through some demos, some arpeggiated stuff like you heard at the top, as well as some slightly more caffeinated things and some stuff in between. All right, so here's the thing. This guitar's got a Sitka spruce top, Indian rosewood back and sides, ebony fingerboard. It's got this lovely signature wreath up there at the top, and Brooke's signature. It plays and feels like a dream. It is one of the most organic, dynamic, harmonic, fulfilling acoustic guitar plays I've ever had. So with that said, let's hear what Brooke has to say about this guitar. Brooke Ligertwood got her start as a singer-songwriter in her native New Zealand and has toured as a solo artist, opening for the likes of David Bowie and John Mayer. She moved to Australia to become part of the Hillsong worship team and has written so many amazing songs, including What a Beautiful Name, for which she won a Grammy, which is not why she does it. She has a heart for worship and to build a church, but it certainly never hurts to have a Grammy. And that song literally has 400 million plays on YouTube. So with that said, it's my pleasure to be able to introduce Brooke to talk about this guitar. So Brooke, tell us about the creation and the inception of this instrument.
I can't believe I'm having this conversation. But, when I went to the Martin factory 2 years ago now, because this is the pandemic, shut the factory down, so for a while and this whole thing. So, but now I think the timing couldn't be more perfect, because if it had come out when I didn't have a record when, so that it's just all been amazing. Thank you, God. But I went to the Martin factory and basically, did the whole tour and experienced it's just like they say, never meet your heroes. But I met my hero and they were just as amazing, even more amazing than I hoped. That's how I felt when I went through the Martin factory. Like the process was just as pure and intentional and detailed as I had dreamed. And then also all the women luthiers, like working on it, like I was like just crushing, just like working with like the detail and the precision that they needed to achieve with some of them, and they're just like, it's like, it's some kind of crazy, beautiful alchemy or something. So anyway, so I had the whole tour, and then we sat in the boardroom with, these incredible luthiers, these designers of these incredible instruments, and talked about what I wanted in this guitar. And I kept saying to them, so what's the limit? Like, what can I? And they were like, nothing. Like, what do you want to do? And so I literally got to design the guitar of my dreams that I want to play for the rest of that. And that's what they said. They were like, design the guitar you want to play for the rest of your life. And so basically what we've done is taken my two guitars that I've played for many years are the Paul Simon signature edition and the Eric Clapton signature edition. So essentially this guitar is a love child of those guitars. One thing that we did that I really love is inspired by the Paul Simon is the V-neck, which is kind of pretty untraditional, and they haven't used the V-neck on a new product for many years. So they were really excited about, and that's quite specific, I know, but I just remember when I first picked up that Paul Simon guitar, 15, 16 years ago, and it was the way that the neck, even before I played it, the way the neck fit in my hand, I was like, this is my guitar. And so that's the neck that we've used on this as well. That same smaller body shape as well, which, yes, because I'm a woman, that helps, but I also know a ton of people who play with this body shape. It's very it's really mobile, and especially I'm a pretty physical worship leader, so I move a lot on the stage. I want something that feels like it's an extension of me. I want the guitar to feel like it's being played by me, not like not like I'm being played by the guitar, if that makes sense. So I feel like this body shape, this neck shape, it's almost like it's supposed to feel like it just fits onto your body like a connection. Obviously rosewood we got to use, which is, I just think the resonance and the warmth of rosewood to me is just, you can't imitate that. It's beautiful. It's so warm. And one thing that we did on the Brooke Ligertwood guitar that wasn't on the Eric or the Paul Simon, was actually on the interior is flamed maple, which is which is kind of a newer technology, but basically it's something that Martin have been working on that actually gives it a volume boost. So it means that out of this small body, you can get a little bit more volume without compromising the tone. So I'm really happy with that. You can get a lot of, even when I A-beat it between this guitar and then my Eric and my Paul, there's just that same, the preciseness of the tone, the warmth, but still that high-end kind of sparkle that you want. But you can just get a little more volume out of it, which means you could play this in a small group of 20 people and still get a really beautiful kind of penetrating resonant sound that's audible. And also it sounds, and then it just sounds great through a PA as well. So those are a few of the things that I love about this guitar. We wanted to keep, in terms of the aesthetic, wanted to keep it really, really simple. So not too much pomp and circumstance. Wanted to put the resource, as it were, into the sound of the guitar, and then just keep the aesthetic of it just really simple, really beautiful. Still with those, some of those special touches, the abalone and stuff that say, oh, this is a special guitar, without it being all about the decoration. Instead of, we wanted the sound to kind of stand alone. And that's the guitar. I'm absolutely thrilled. Yeah. Can't believe it.
The story of how you got your first Martin is really pretty amazing. Can you share that with us?
So I was 16 years old, or so, 16 or 17, had been a Christian maybe a year or two. And God had brought this incredible group of older girls into my life. They were in their kind of early 20s, mid 20s. And for whatever reason, they let me hang out with them. And one of them was an incredible young woman called Leah. And I think she was a social worker at that time, but she was a songwriter and would sing her songs at cafes, around ones at open mic nights, all that kind of thing. And Leah had been saving up to buy a Martin guitar, because everyone knows Martin guitars are the best guitars, in my opinion. And so anyway, she had been saving up to buy a base model Martin, probably one of the cheapest available, but still for a social worker, it's way, a lot. And so she'd been saving up for this guitar, and she bought this guitar, and we met up one day, and she had the guitar with her, and she had tears in her eyes, and she said, Brooke, I got the guitar, but God told me that I'd actually brought it for you, and gave me this guitar that she'd been saving up for. And that was my first guitar, a Martin 000 XM. That was the guitar that I wrote my whole first record on, that I still have in my office to this day. So I am in the process of tracking her down. She has no idea, obviously, about this, and I am going to send her this, and it will be over 20 years ago, she planted a seed in the ground when she gave me that guitar. And now I'm from Lower Hutt, New Zealand, but this is God is real, because this doesn't make sense. And I'm going to get to hand her, a Brooke Ligertwood Martin guitar and say, thank you for believing in me.
As a singer-songwriter and somebody that leads worship from guitar, the nuance of the voice and the dynamics and the envelope, if you will, of the acoustic guitar, it's got to play a huge role in what you do.
Oh, I love that question. I think for me, if I'm just speaking specifically on behalf of me, myself, and I, my voice, it has a lot of breath in it. It has so when I'm singing kind of softly and in, I guess, that falsetto you're going to hear a lot of breath, and kind of note within that, but a lot of breath. So what I'm looking for in a guitar sound when I'm singing that way is I want the warmth filled out. I want the bottom end filled out. And then I want enough sparkle and presence that if I'm finger picking or if I'm strumming, we're getting the rhythm, you're getting a sense of the rhythm that you want for that breath in my voice to sit along top. Then by contrast, if it's a big section and I'm belting, so my voice kind of tends to go more mid. There's a lot more mids in my voice when I start belting. Again, I want to be able to hear the rhythm. So I want enough presence that the rhythm can cut through the PA, or just if it's the other instruments playing. But then also that sense of the power. You don't want there to be a lot of empty presence in the guitar sound, but that sense of that power, that bottom end, that the fullness of the chord. So then when my voice, when I'm belting and there's kind of the mids in my voice are really present, that there's that the rest of the spectrum is being filled out in terms of the music by there being enough bottom end and sparkle with the power of the chord present.
So this first demo incorporates a number of my favorite things about acoustic guitar in worship. First of all, I start off at the top of the neck using a combination of the pick and my fingers playing these root fifth third chords and adding a little bit of vibrato, kind of imitating the sound of a nylon string, but on a steel string. So it gets a little bit more sustain and a little bit more articulation. This guitar does that great. Then I move down to the bottom and I do some contrapuntal motion where the bass note is moving down and the note on the high E string is moving up, but I'm also adding some harmony inside the chords and just love the way this guitar brings that to life. Chords are obviously super important regardless of what style you play. And one of the many things I love about this guitar is the evenness from string to string across the range of the instrument. So this last demo moves back into the slightly over-caffeinated kind of pentatonic vibe. And the really cool thing about this is I've never really done anything like this. This instrument continues to inspire me as a player and as a musician to do the things that I've done before, hopefully do them better, but also find some new things. And that's always awesome. On behalf of everyone at Worship Musician Magazine, thanks so much for checking out this video. For more information about the Martin 0028 Brooke Ligertwood signature guitar, please visit martinguitar.com. For more information about Brooke's brand new album 7, please visit brookeligertwood.com. And if you want to read her cover story in Worship Musician Magazine, we invite you to visit worshipmusician.com. And please don't forget to like the video, leave some comments down below, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Thanks again for watching. Cheers.